So it's the end of another financial year, a good opportunity for us to look back on what has been a really interesting year from a digitisation point of view and from a healthcare technology point of view, with so many challenges happening across the economy and across healthcare. This has been a year of really true transformation in digital healthcare. So I'm just going to spend a little time reflecting on the last 12 months, looking forward to the next 12 months. So the year started for us back in August 2019 with two really amazing pieces of news from the journey for Nervecentre to become what we want to be, which is the best EPR for the NHS. Two big pieces of news. One, that we were awarded a position on the HSS Lot 1 framework. This was a rubber stamping by the NHS, by NHS Digital, that we were considered an EPR in their view, which was really great. And then the contract with Leicester, our first full EPR contract, with a really ambitious plan to replace all of the systems that Leicester were using, their PAS, their e-prescribing system, their orders and results system, with Nervecentre over a 2-year period of time. So that was a great start to the year. Two really big pieces of news, and of course has dominated quite a lot of the work that we've been doing over the past 12 months, and will do so for the next 12 months as well. So a year after we've signed the EPR contract with Leicester, the EPR at Leicester looks amazing. It looks so good. There's so much rich clinical data in the EPR. They are live with tens and tens of assessments, fluid balance, clinical photography, hospital at night, clinical noting, vital signs, sepsis, a whole suite of really strong clinical functions, so that the EPR itself looks rich and full of valuable data. Obviously the ED system was already live at Leicester, so we've got all of that ED information being captured and collected and used throughout the whole patient pathway. The status of Leicester at the moment is within UAT. We have both our EPMA solution, which we're really excited to say is going to be going live next month. So much work has gone into that. We're so proud of our EPMA. I honestly think it's probably the best EPMA that exists on the planet right now. We've done such a thorough job of managing all of the variation of complex medicines that can occur. So we're very proud of it, and we're very eager to see how that makes a difference. It's of course mobile from the outset, so mobile prescribing, mobile closed loop administration, scanning the patient, scanning the medicines. And of course that's the safe way to do medicines, not just the administration, but it's also the safe way to prescribe by the bedside, when you can scan the patient, when you can ask the patient any pertinent questions. So we're very proud of our EPMA. Order comms will follow shortly afterwards. It's also in UAT at Leicester. And so we've got a really busy next 3 or 4 months at Leicester, taking those modules through live. And then for the next 6 months beyond that, we'll be addressing outpatients and PAS. So we've got a really, out of our 2-year contract to go live with these things at Leicester, we're A, right on track, and B, we're right in the middle of a very exciting point in time, really, where all of the hard work is starting to turn into real change. It's been a good year for new trusts choosing Nervecentre, and for existing customers of ours to continue to wish to do more and more with us. We've sold 3 ED contracts this year, which is really a great sign of the strength of our ED solution. Our ED solution was already live in Northumbria, Leicester and Leicester hospitals. So having 3 new customers look to deploy us within ED just shows that focus on ED, which has been constant for the last few years and will remain a constant, can be helped by the choice of the right technology. So obviously one of the things that has dominated the last 12 months has been COVID, certainly the last 4 or 5 months. I've been really proud of the way that we as an organisation, our teams have stepped up to do what we can for hospitals during that period. We had a conference call that we invited all of our customers to as soon as the lockdown hit, and we made it clear that we would do anything for those customers that we could, whether it was work or whether it was licensing of new software during that 4-month period without any cost to our customers, just to help them move as quickly as they humanly could in dealing with the things that they had to deal with. And we've seen 2 or 3 things, I think, that ended up being really helpful to our customers. One of the ones that was maybe a little surprising was clinical photography. We've seen a really significant uptake in the adoption of clinical photography. We've already done a case study at Leicester showing that we're getting photos viewed 70,000 times in a month. And remember, the value of a photo is in the viewing of it, not in the taking of it. A single photo taken once but viewed 10 times gives 10 times the value of looking at that wound or looking at that scenario that was being photographed. And that helped clinicians not have to go into areas where they were beside the patients, not have to put PPE on. So we've seen a really rapid increase in that. But also we've seen a really rapid increase in just digitisation and dashboarding, the willingness to put more things into the patient record so that people could see them and act with them remotely, and to be able to track COVID patients using the dashboards. And our customers are telling us that Nervecentre stood out during this period of time, stood out for its adaptability, for its agility, for its clinical uptake. So the clinicians wanted the solutions to be in Nervecentre, and the IT departments were able to reconfigure Nervecentre at really short notice to be able to meet those needs. So that's something we're very proud of. We've seen a big drive towards social distancing, working from home, working remotely. Our work hasn't stopped. If anything, we've been busier than ever. As we know, our customers have been busier than ever. But we've done much more of that over video and much more of that remotely. So this really, is an uncertain times for healthcare, for digitisation in healthcare really. What are the requirements for an EPR going to be over the next 12 months? Some things are perhaps more obvious. The need to digitise more quickly, and how that affects not only how hospitals structure their work, how we as a supplier structure our work, but how it affects patients and how it affects the models of care will play out over the next 24 months really. So the move towards video consultations has obviously already happened. The move towards more digitisation and more quickly has already begun. But what does the A&E waiting room look like when social distancing becomes important? How do we move the digital part of that to better support hospitals as they go through a transition which isn't yet fully understood? What people will want is they'll want adaptability within their EPR. The idea that we are employing digital technology that is 10, 20 years old is not going to be at all sufficient if the needs of the next 12 months are unique needs. So people will want their digital solutions to be able to adapt to those unique needs really quickly. And so we'll find that over the next 12 months, new solutions to these new problems will start to become available.